God damn it, Jables. Just because I'm not wearing pants doesn't mean you can ogle. Hashtag me too.
I can ogle whatever I want. The fact that you're wearing pants just makes it easier. Wait, the fact that you're not wearing pants makes it easier. Shit, fucked it up. Hey guys, welcome to Let's Just Say It's a Discord.
Up.
Welcome to Let's Just Say It's a Discord, your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saves. Coming at you every Friday night at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Jables. Joined with me as always is Rimshee. Who apparently isn't wearing pants.
No, fuck that.
Not that it matters. He can't see behind the desk anyway. So.
What desk?
So.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're sitting behind the desk.
Yeah, we're sitting at a desk.
I thought this was the masturbation center.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, any Discord news, Rimshee?
Nothing major. We moved all the welcome and rules from Waffle posting them to Zebro posts, so that's pretty much the extent of that.
Because we're turning corporate professional.
We're trying to be professional. At least some of us are.
I fuck that up all the time.
All the time. At least you keep things interesting. Beyond that, I can't think of much else that we've really been dealing with that's really a need for anything to be mentioned. Just stuff and things.
Yeah, you guys should hear the ridiculous shit that I try to do that she prevents me from doing when we have our discussions. Mod area. Rimshee's no fun. So.
I am plenty of fun. I just stop you from being a dick to every single other person on the Discord.
I don't know what you're talking about. The jokes. It's fun. That's okay. That being said, you want to talk about why you shouldn't leave babies around shredders?
Yeah, this is probably a good idea. I don't know what's up with our transitions. They're being kind of jumpy. I don't know, maybe I'll have to reload them or something. Anyway, let's talk about babies and shredders, and don't leave your kids around them. And
yeah.
Not for the reason you might think. I'll go ahead and take this one. Utah toddler puts 1,000 through a shredder, parents say. $1,000. A Utah toddler's parents are in disbelief after they discover their 2-year-old son sent more than $1,000 through a shredder. Leo Belknap's parents, Ben and Jackie, tore through their home over the weekend, desperate to find the $1,060 they had saved to pay back Ben's parents. The couple had borrowed the money to purchase season tickets to University of Utah's football games. KSL TV reported.
Naturally.
So, this is why when I borrow money from my parents, I pay them back via electronic transfer. And I don't even have kids.
Yeah. I don't borrow money from my parents.
Well, I'm in California. Yeah, I all but have to. Hell, there are times where I do have to. It sucks.
I
had the same thought, Crab.
Yeah.
I was gonna, if they didn't mention it in here, I was gonna say, why the hell do you have just $1,000 in cash in your house? Digging through the trash and other places, the couple never expected to find the cash, which was inside an envelope, in the shredder. But to their dismay, that's exactly where it was. I'm digging through the trash, and she hollers and says, "I found it!" Ben told the news station, referring to Jackie. She's holding the shredder, and she says, "I think the money is in here."
Yeah. Back to the point about keeping $1,000 in cash around. It's actually not a terrible idea, especially if you lose like your debit card or something. Then you have like emergency cash that you can use.
But 1,000 entirely stored in just in a place that's in an envelope. I have a safe for that. If I want to do that, I have a safe.
Yeah, same here. Alright.
That's exactly right, Crab. You lock that shit up. In shock, Jackie said the two shuffled through the shreds of paper for a few minutes in silence. Finally, Jackie told KSL TV she broke the silence with a bit of humor. I'm like, well, this will make a great wedding story one day. Yep, tell your what was it, their son? Yeah, tell your son's future wife. Yeah, you don't want to put him anywhere near money and a paper shredder.
Yeah.
We'll tell you why. Leo's parents told the news station they suspected the toddler grabbed the envelope and put it through the shredder when they weren't looking. The young boy is well versed in how the machine works, often helping Jackie to shred junk mail and just things with our name on it, or important documents we want to get rid of, she said. Why would you put it within reach of a toddler, especially when the toddler knows how to work the stupid paper shredder?
Sometimes you just don't think about it, man. I wanna know how old this kid is, but it doesn't say. I don't think.
He's a toddler, so he's like maybe up to 2 or 3, something like that.
I think that would go for like under 5 at least.
Maybe. I don't know. Do we have any parents in the group in the chat that could actually answer that question, since we are ignorant and single and without children?
Hey, Mom, are you watching tonight? No. Maybe. We'll find out later.
Thankfully, the two may have a chance at getting their money back. According to the news station, by submitting a claim and sending pieces of the mutilated money to the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, a government agency associated with the Department of Treasury.
So, Mom, I know you're watching now because you texted me. Why are you texting me and not just being involved in the live chat? She said, what if they shredded a bunch of ones so they had an excuse not to pay parents back?
Oh man, why aren't you posting in the chat? You're fun.
She says she's watching it on the TV and she's not at a computer. You know, you can bring it up on your phone and just have the chat. Yeah, you can bring up the whole thing on your phone and you can do pop-out chat and just have the chat open, Mom. That's okay. Oh, she might be making dinner too. I don't know. If you have enough time to text, that you have enough time to interact with the chat, Mom.
Yeah.
We need those interactions. That actually helps out the channel if you interact with the channel. All right.
Are we ready? What do you have anything to say on this crazy moment?
No, not much. Other than my mom's possible theory that they shredded up a bunch of ones so that they didn't have to pay back the parents.
Well, since apparently they'll get their money back, that's not going to be a good enough excuse now.
Yeah, but that might be a good scam.
You can't get. They'd be checking like the printing pattern and all that stuff to make sure that they actually have what they're being told they have.
That depends. People get lazy, man. Fuck it, just give them 1,000.
Yeah, people get lazy. What people do get lazy, but we're talking about bureaucracies.
Yeah, they're too up your ass about shit. Good point.
It's not
All
gonna
right.
work as a scam.
Oh
Oh,
man.
now let's go from paper money to drug jugs.
Yay. My territory. Um, University of York finds drugs trace in Bronze Age jug. That's a terribly written title, but I'll take it. Whatever.
At least
Uh,
it's grammatically somewhat accurate for a
yeah,
title. For a title, at least.
I guess. Traces of opiates preserved inside a 3,500-year-old jug have been found. See, jug and drug, that's just going to get me mixed up throughout this entire article. 3,500-year-old jug have been found by scientists. The late Bronze Age base ring juglet and its contents are intact and is held in the British Museum collection. There had been a long-standing theory the jugs had been containers for opium, and a new technique was used to... Why is it the typos are always in the articles I read? Used to detect a plant compound related to it. It is the first chemical evidence of the opium poppy within such a jug. University of York scientists said.
You
Dr.
know,
Rachel
I think I
Smith.
know why they're always in the articles you read. Because I have a hard time with reading, I just kind of skip over stuff.
Yeah.
So my mind fills in what should be there. So I would have read that as was used to detect instead of used detect.
I just want. Okay, I'm just holding truth to power here with the media and their lack of editing skills and proofreading. Okay? Stop it. You write for a living.
Get
You
help.
edit for a living. Stop it. Get some help. It is the first. Okay. Dr. Rachel Smith from the university said, "It's not opium itself we found. The jug is 3,500 years old, so whatever was in there is degraded. We certainly got a link to poppies through the alkaloid I found." Dr. Smith said there had been a long-standing theory. Why is that always a quote? The jugs had been containers for opium because their shape resembled the seed head of the opium poppy. Yes. She said, I was able to find traces of an opium alkaloid called papaverine. Maybe they're just making poppy seed muffins. That's just where they stored their poppy seeds. Who knows?
Doesn't mean it was a drug, just means it contained what could have been a drug. And, given humans are humans, it probably was a drug.
Yeah, have you heard about that, what's that theory? It's like the drunk ape theory or the high ape theory or something like that.
Sup, Ryder? No, I haven't heard that.
It's more of a hypothesis that we ended up going into our higher level of consciousness and our brain started expanding because we started taking drugs like mostly psychedelics and whatnot.
That's interesting.
After the Ice Age, we were migrating south, and it's where you find more like giant land animals that some psychedelic mushrooms would grow on their patties, and we would just be foraging for food, and we'd find them and trip out.
And so what? Because of the fact that we were tripping out, our minds were tried to come up with a way to comprehend it, and so we developed a more higher conscious state.
It allowed our brains to process things in a different way, and then they could, and then that led us to try to communicate more and more efficiently and more broadly about certain concepts, essentially.
So what you're saying
it's
is
something I looked into years ago.
So what you're saying is drugs make you smart.
No, 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 no. No. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it makes monkeys smart.
All right, continue on.
Alkaloids are a broad range of chemical compounds produced by plants. Opium has particular ones that you can use to mark its presence, said Dr. Smith. They are known to have significant psychological effects on the human body, the university said. She said the opiate alkaloids detected by her were the most resistant to degradation. That had made them easier to find in ancient residues than other well-known opiates such as morphine and codeine, she added. The rest of the drug's residue was mostly composed of a plant oil. A new analytical method was developed by Dr. Smith as part of her PhD at university's Department of Chemistry. And then it goes in and it gives you some information about opium poppies. Which, by the way, major export of the Middle East. Or at least the more refined version, heroin.
Yes, Crab. We should have given Coco drugs.
Yeah. So that's yeah. I don't know. I don't have much else to say other than that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, Tylenol, or acetaminophen, comes from the bark of a cedar tree, I think.
Tylenol?
Yeah.
Or was that the willow tree?
It's willow or cedar.
I know something comes from the willow tree. I don't remember if it's the active ingredient of Tylenol or aspirin.
Tylenol is just a brand name.
Well, yeah, that's why I said the active ingredient of.
Yeah, it's it was aspirin. It was aspirin for sure. But aspirin comes from. See, there's I forget. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's something that I just push out of my brain because I don't need to know that knowledge. I just need cursory knowledge of it.
You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of knowing things, let's talk about switching brains and robots.
The Curiosity rover to temporarily switch brains.
Yeah, we went from the past, now we're in the future. Welcome to your science segment at What's the Science of Discord.
This wouldn't be a bad segment to just continue. The science
science. Actually, that's a good idea. Type 1 in the chat if you want a science segment. It's gonna be like 3.
It's gonna be one vote. 1 for yes, 2 for no, but it's gonna be like one person voting.
All 3 of them vote differently. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, because that'd be more than well.
And none of them are a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, we've been talking about having more like segregated segments. So if we just have like a whole science segment, I'd love that. I'd be down.
So I'll get started on this.
Actually, you know what? Fuck their votes. Let's just do it.
Yeah, no one's voting anyway. Engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, this week commanded the agency's Curiosity rover to switch to its second computer. The switch will enable engineers to do a detailed diagnosis of a technical issue that has prevented the rover's active computer from storing science and some key engineering data since September 15th. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's a long time. Also, I didn't know. It makes sense, but I didn't know that Curiosity had 2 computers that I could switch between for just in case something went wrong.
Well, makes redundancies. Sense. Like if something goes wrong with the first one, they need a backup. Otherwise, they spent a shit ton of money to get the thing into space and land it on Mars for it to just go, I rock.
Well, I think what happened to the first one is that the Martians just hacked into it and
uploaded Martian porn.
No, no, they just prevented it from collecting data because they don't want to be found out. We know you're out there.
Like many NASA spacecraft, Curiosity was designed with 2 redundant computers. Yeah, I don't know why there's a comma there.
Telling you, man.
In this case, referred to as Side A and Side B computer, so that it can continue operations if one experiences a glitch. Why did it take them this long to switch it over?
It takes a long time for the information to be sent to Mars.
It doesn't take half a month.
It takes a long fucking time, dude.
Yeah, they get answers within a few minutes. I think it's something like 15 minutes. Can someone look that up for us? How long it takes? It takes 8 minutes for the light to reach us from the sun, and we're closer to Mars than we are to the sun.
Just keep reading. I'm looking it up.
After reviewing several options, JPL engineers recommended that the rover switch from Side B to Side A, the computer the rover used initially after landing. The rover continues to send limited engineering data stored in short-term memory, but when it connects to a relay orbiter, it is otherwise healthy and receiving commands. But whatever is preventing Curiosity from storing science data in long-term memory is also preventing the storage of the rover's event records, a journal of all its actions. A journal of all its actions that engineers need in order to make a diagnosis. The computer swap will allow data and event records to be stored on the Side A computer. Side A experienced hardware and software issues over 5 years ago on Sol 200 of the mission. So, I don't know what exactly Sol 200 is.
Okay.
Probably has something to do with day or something.
Well, it's probably the orbiter that goes around that transfers information. So for about 8 minutes, the orbiter is within range of the rover, and that's when they can transfer between 100 and 250 megabits of data between each other. So, and it takes about 20 hours for that same 250 megabits to get to Earth.
Seriously?
So it might have just been that it took forever to get the information to be like, hey, switch over now. Do the thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how much this article gets into it, but yeah, it takes a long time. It takes 20 hours for that information to travel from Mars to Earth, and vice versa.
So yeah, but Sol 200 is got to be some timestamp of some sort. Maybe that's days as experienced on Earth, or I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, over 5 years ago on Sol 200 of the mission, leaving the rover uncommandable and running down its battery. At that time, the team successfully switched to Side B. Engineers have since diagnosed and quarantined the part of Side A's memory that was affected, so that computer is again available to support the mission. Isn't it nice when you can get people to engineer a workaround for a computer that is inaccessible by that is inaccessible by any physical ability, and completely fix the issue. Well, not fix the issue, but be able to do a successful workaround at a distance of Mars to Earth, and yet still here on Earth we have issues with our computers that are just really stupid.
Oh yeah, we can. Not even our computers. Let's talk about internet providers. Comcast, for example.
Comcast.
Fuck those guys.
I cannot comment. They might be listening, and I am a customer because I have no other choice.
Nah, fuck them. If they want me to be a customer of them again, they would provide better customer service and maybe give me a year of free high-speed internet. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'd talk. Yep. All right.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
So, yes, at this point, we're confident we'll be getting back to full operations, but it's too early to say how soon, said Stephen Lee of JPL, Curiosity's deputy project manager. We are operating on Side A starting today, but it could take us time to fully understand the root cause of the issue and devise workarounds for the memory on Side B. We spent the last week checking out Side A and preparing it for the swap, Lee said. It's certainly possible to run the mission on Side A computer if we really need to, but our plan is to switch back to Side B as soon as we can fix the problem to utilize its larger memory size. All right.
Why did they give size B a larger memory size than side A?
Because they didn't give it to it, but they had to quarantine a section that was causing issues. And that's why they switched over to B in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like it's not like they're being douches and like, oh yeah, we're gonna save money by not making these exactly the same. No, it was okay. This one took a slight bit of a shit. Let's move on. Let's use the one that's still more functional.
Yeah.
Why they don't add a third computer that can deal with this stuff? I don't know. That just seems like it makes too much sense. But then again, what do I know? I'm not a rocket surgeon.
Yeah, I am.
You're full of shit. I don't know. That's fascinating, though. Like, the customer service is a lot better at NASA, obviously. A lot better than Comcast.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh shit! Don't cut me off, Comcast.
Yeah, if Rimshee goes dark, you know what happened.
Well, I'm the one broadcasting, so if we go dark, you know what happened.
Shit. You're right. God damn it. Oh. Man. Chrome was being slow. I accidentally exited out of the next article.
Well, that's alright. That next article we can delay till later.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea, actually. that's the big one. That's a fun one.
All right.
Let me at least get it loaded up again.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, thanks Rimshee for showing me that trailer for that movie.
Did you share it with people?
No, I haven't shared it with anybody yet.
Oh, okay. I am going to share it. I am going to put it in cross promote, but this movie looks actually pretty good. As stupid as it may sound, it's called Vice and it's about Dick Cheney.
Yeah, and Dick Cheney is played by Christian Bale.
Yeah, it's going in cross promote. Well, by the time you see this, it'll have already been there. But I'm posting it right now.
Steve Carell's in it.
Yeah.
It looks very interesting and potentially hilarious. Don't want you yet. Hang around here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about why you...
Let's talk about New Zealand.
Yeah, and why you should never travel there ever again.
Why the Kiwi should get out.
Yeah, Ray Comfort, get out.
Not of here, but out of New Zealand.
Oh, they should get out of New Zealand. Yeah,
well,
everybody but Ray Comfort. Everybody but Ray Comfort and Toma, get out of New Zealand. All right. So, New Zealand. Hand over phone password at border or face a $3,200 fine. Ooh.
I'm an American. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck that shit. Yeah, so either don't go to New Zealand or go with completely new products, but put in really complicated passwords just to piss the people off. Rights groups have denounced a new law in New Zealand under which travelers can be fined thousands of dollars if they refuse to allow border officials access to their phone. Under the Customs and Excise Act 2018, which came into force this week, officials will be able to demand travelers unlock any electronic device so it can be searched. Anyone who refuses can face prosecution and a fine of up to $3,200. That's $5,000 in New Zealand dollary dues.
Ryder, we want Mouse out of New Zealand so he can be a refugee in America.
Yes. Yeah, we want him out of New Zealand.
That way he's safe.
Yep. We can take care of him with our guns.
You know what? You know what? If I ever travel to New Zealand, I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna get a brand new phone. I'm gonna set up the password to be "Go fuck yourself."
Oh, that's a good idea. I love it.
I thought
I'm
you
gonna
would.
go. Yeah. What's your password? Go fuck yourself. Sir, we're gonna have to fine you if you don't give us your password.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. I love it. I'm giving them my password. Let's go fuck yourself.
Wait for them to try instilling fines, and then go to the embassy.
No, type in "go fuck yourself." It's my password. Jesus Christ.
Well,
right.
Given their treatment of me, at some point I stopped telling them my password, which is go fuck yourself, and just started telling them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. They couldn't tell the difference, so why not? Alright. So, officials can also retain devices and potentially confiscate them from travelers who refuse to allow a search at the border. You don't have a border, you're an island.
That's their border. They've got a natural border.
I don't think it counts.
It does.
Because you're not at the border, you're
not at the border, you're at the beach.
You're at an airport or at the beach.
Well, technically, inside the airport is a weird amalgamation of international land or international waters, effectively, and local sovereignty.
Yeah, I learned that from the beautiful Tom Hanks classic, The Terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole premise for that movie.
Yep.
The New Zealand Council for Civil Liberties, CCL, described the new law as a grave invasion of personal privacy of both the person who owns the device and the people they have communicated with. Yes. Modern smartphones contain a large amount of highly sensitive private information, including emails, letters, medical records, personal photos, and very personal photos, the group's chairman, Thomas Beagle, said in a statement. Yeah. Yeah, very personal photos. I get it. You know what? I'm going to work for their border patrol.
You're just full of shit.
The reality of this law is that it gives customs the power to take and force the unlock of people's smartphones without justification or appeal. And this is exactly what customs has always wanted. Really? Is it that bad in New Zealand?
Yep.
I only know 3 people from New Zealand. I don't like one of them.
Yeah, but Angel can just go suck a dick. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah. I'd like to give Rick Comfort a hug. He seems like he needs one. Yeah. Privacy Foundation New Zealand said members had expressed concern with the government during the consultation process about the retention of passwords by border officials and the safeguards on searches of devices. A spokeswoman for New Zealand Customs said the change to the law was necessary as the shift from paper-based systems to electronic systems has meant that the majority of prohibited material and documents are now stored electronically. What
Yeah.
are prohibited material and documents are they talking
CP,
about?
for example.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But documents?
I don't know. I'm not from New Zealand.
Damn, I wish we had somebody from New Zealand on the show. Where's Mouse when you need him? Invasion of privacy. While customs officials in multiple countries are permitted by law to search travelers' devices, New Zealand is the first country to introduce a fine for those who refuse to hand over passwords or PIN numbers to enable this. Okay. Wait, so there's other countries where they're allowed to, by law, to search their devices, but you don't have to give up the PIN number, so all they can do is look at the home screen? Is that essentially what that is? That essentially what that means?
That's what it strikes me as.
All right, I'm going to need to search your device. See if you have any hate speech on here. Okay, you can look at it.
Go on, Jables.
All right, what's your PIN number? I don't want to give that to you. Damn. All right, move along then. You seem fine.
More accurately, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh shit, yeah, Y2K. New Zealand is part of the Five Eyes. They'll share all that info on your phone with the US, Canada, the UK, and Aussie Land.
Oh yeah, did you hear about that whole thing about how Australia is passing a law that will make them a loophole to gather everybody's information, essentially?
Nope.
That's a weird thing. Oh, that's... Let's not get into that right now.
No.
Unless Cynic has something to say about it in the chat. Yeah, that's something that was out like a couple weeks ago. Probably should have covered it. Alright. Foreign nationals traveling to the U.S. who refuse to do so can be denied entry if deemed to be non-cooperative with border officials. And U.S. citizens can be detained and their devices confiscated if they refuse to hand over passwords. Though, as the case of the San Bernardino's shooter's phone showed, it can be very difficult and expensive to break into a device without them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah. So if you're coming to the U.S., you can be denied entry. That's... I get it. Yes. I don't like it, but I get it. Both the Electronic Frontier Foundation...
It honestly feels like a violation of the Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment? Illegal search and seizure?
Citizens don't have that right. Those are rights afforded to American citizens.
Yeah, but it says, what did it say? And U.S. citizens can be detained and their devices confiscated if they refuse to hand over passwords. So that applies directly to U.S. citizens.
About...
Foreign nationals traveling to the
okay. Yeah. That is a violation of a right to privacy. You know what they say. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. Both the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the American Civil Liberties Union have sued the U.S. government to try and force officials to get a warrant based on probable cause before conducting searches of electronic devices at the border. Yes. Thank you, both of you.
I agree.
ACLU, I've had some issues with you lately. You're backtracking on some of your main mission statement and stance that you've had in the past. But I can agree with you on this one. We'll talk ACLU.
Yeah.
The New Zealand Customs spokeswoman said the number of electronic devices examined is very, quote-unquote, very low. She added that out of the 14 million travelers risk assessed and processed in 2017, only 537 devices were examined. Oh, I don't want my device to be examined because I'm already a little sketchy looking already.
You're right, Crab. It's not the Fifth Amendment, it's the Fourth Amendment. I got that mixed up.
Yeah, Fifth Amendment is your right to remain silent.
Yeah, no, I remember now. Well, actually, I looked it up.
Or to not incriminate yourself.
I've got a Constitution of the United States right in front of me, so...
I wasn't entirely sure, so I just let you roll with it.
Well, I didn't say it definitively either. I said it questioningly.
Yeah. Slacker. Don't even know your amendments.
At least I'm not a poser.
Huh? Oh. I'm a poser now? Okay. Anyway, according to CCL, New Zealand Customs had originally demanded they be able to perform device searches without restrictions, but lawmakers required that they have reasonable cause. However, the group added the restrictions fell short of those placed on the police and intelligence services and did not require reasonable cause. Okay. Moreover, the Civil Liberties Organization said the law could easily be avoided by those with something to hide and would primarily affect innocent travelers. Any professional criminal could easily store their data on the internet, travel with a wiped phone, and restore it once they enter the country, the CCL statement said. Any criminal who fails to do this would surely pay a $3,200 fine rather than reveal evidence relating to crimes that might involve jail time. Yeah. And also, this is just security theater, which frustrates the hell out of me.
You're safe. See? I mean, this doesn't actually do anything, but it looks like you're safe, right?
We're doing all these things. See? Did you see that? Did you ever hear about that story of the guy that got into an airport and boarded a plane without going through TSA by entering through an exit?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he just waited outside the door until somebody walked out, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." Just sort of walked in. That's it. That's all he did. He walked in.
If I remember right, in the Portland airport, they have these weird, or no, maybe it's the San Francisco airport. I don't remember. They're one of the airports that I went through on my trip up to see you, and Pavros and Anessa and Erudite.
Mm-hmm.
We the exits were a set of 3 doors, so that by the time you got to the 3rd door, the first one had closed.
Ah.
So that's actual functional security to some degree.
Yeah. Unless you got 3 people, unless you got a stream of people coming out at the same time.
I don't think that it works like that. But then again, I wasn't there during high traffic times.
Yeah. All right. So, so throughout the U.S., we've been putting up a bunch of these fans. I thought they were supposed to cool the planet. What do you think about that, Rimshee?
I don't know. Fans are fans are fans. They're supposed to cool off the planet? More like burn it down.
Yes.
God, I almost feel like I need a drink, but I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Yeah. Instead of getting alcohol, I'm gonna get naked.
Ooh.
Mm,
Make sure you turn off your camera first.
What camera?
Exactly.
I don't have a camera.
That's what you think.
Oh, I know I've got bugs, but I don't have a camera.
Yeah.
There's a difference, Jables. Come on, Jables. There's a difference, Jables.
Oh, come on. Jables, why are you so mean to me, Jables? Jables, why do you do this to me, Jables? Because you're a lying sack of shit. That's why I do that to you. Alright. Anyways.
Back to what is not stupidity.
Oh, on the plus
this
side,
is stupidity, but there's a huge difference.
My New Zealand accent has gotten a lot better over the past few weeks. Alright, you want to take this one?
It's actually blocked by OBS, so I can't exactly read it.
Oh, shit. Okay. How wind power could contribute to a warming climate. How's it blocked by OBS? That's weird.
Well, it's not blocked by OBS. What it is in order to make sure that I have the article, what we're reading on screen, I have to keep OBS up, and part of OBS blocks the actual words, so I can't read them.
Okay. Because it's the only one that has all the text on the left side instead of the right.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, that last one I could have muddled through, but this one I'd just be switching back and forth so often I'd lose my place.
Alright. Giant wind turbines that generate fossil fuel free power add a little heat of their own to the planet. If the United States routed enough wind turbines to meet its entire demand for electricity, the turbines would immediately raise the region's surface air temperatures by 0.24 degrees Celsius on average. Scientists report online October 4th in Joule.
According to Cynic, this already has happened.
Yeah. In the short term, that's a negligible amount. Current global greenhouse gas emissions are projected to warm the contiguous United States by 0.24 degrees Celsius by 2030. Harvard University applied physicists Lee Miller and David Keith postulated a parallel world in the years 2012 through 2014. In it, a wind farm region across the central United States generates 0.46 terawatts of electricity power, as much as the country currently uses. With those hypothetical turbines in place, surface air temperatures during those years were warmer than average across the contiguous United States, particularly near the center of the wind farm region. Miller and Keith, who also started the Vancouver-based carbon capture company Carbon Engineering, found. Okay.
1-2K, that's a little. I think that's kind of chasing a ghost, because those blast furnaces would still be functioning even if they weren't making wind turbines. Red herring, I think that's the term I'm looking for.
Yeah, and tune the chat for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you keep in mind that we're pretty steel dependent, and yes, technically that could be time taken to that's time the furnaces could be used to create more steel I-beams for creating livable buildings. But then again, do we really want more skyscrapers? Like where I am, they're building up a bunch of apartment buildings all around that are expensive as shit, because California fucking sucks when it comes to renting that. And we could easily just be having the. Yeah, I've really got nothing. What's going on with you guys? Well, I'll scroll down at least so we can take a look at this. Potential impact of wind farms on warming. Less warm, more warm. But it's still all warming, I guess? Operational wind farms.
Sorry.
God damn,
Actually, really had to pee.
there are a lot of wind farms in the middle of the United States. I mean, it's not surprising, but holy shit.
Yeah. Well, it's flat and windy there.
Oh yeah.
Of course, there's wind farms.
How many? I actually have a thought. How often do you think those wind farms get hit by tornadoes?
That's a good question, actually.
It's generating too much power.
Back to the steel thing. You know what we could be using that steel for? Developing nuclear power plants.
Yes.
Yes. Which has a very positive effect on the environment, actually. Because those stacks, they see all that stuff coming out the top? You know what that is? It's water vapor.
Standard
freaks
water
out about
vapor.
That shit.
Standard water vapor. Any radioactive water is self-contained within a closed loop and is used to heat up other water.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fucking.
And yes, nuclear power is greater than both wind and solar any day of the week, and that's combined.
You get more radiation from sleeping next to your partner than you do by living near a nuclear power plant. Fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Future farms? Question mark. A vast array of imagined wind turbines, which would be contained within the solid black line, would quickly warm the contiguous United States by an average of 0.24 degrees Celsius. They keep repeating that shit over and over again. The warming effect is strongest near the center of the array, with warming as much as 1 degree Celsius.
Jeez.
Currently, operational wind farms with their capacity for producing energy in MWI, or megawatts per installation, are shown as open circles for reference.
They're talking about this map.
Okay, so the bigger the circle, the more megawatts per installation.
And then color-wise, it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, alternative energy sources, especially the ones that deal with, like, wind or tidal or like hydroelectric through rivers and whatnot. Those are perfectly viable in the areas that have those. You know where nuclear is viable? Everywhere.
Crab, what do I care what Liviana has to say about anything?
Oh, no, I think she might have been talking more about me. I don't care.
I have no idea. Continuing on.
I'll talk about shit like this off air. Wind turbines alter climate by increasing atmospheric mixing within the boundary layer, the layer of atmosphere just above the Earth's surface. The turbines churning increases temperatures, particularly at night, by pulling warmer air from the upper part of the boundary level down towards the cooler air at the land surface, blah, blah, blah. Citation, whatever. And the turbines can redistribute moisture as well as heat. A recent study in Science reported that wind farms can increase precipitation and therefore vegetation in the Sahara. Actually, that's interesting. Because of giant fans being turned by the wind, they actually generate more movement of the air, and so they can bring down more moisture. That's very interesting. That might be something I want to look into.
So in other words, It sounds like turbines would be good in places where it's already hot.
Yeah. Well, if they can increase precipitation, like that would be fantastic for a lot of that'd be fantastic for a lot of areas that don't get any. Huh. The turbine's warming impact on the atmosphere is instantaneous, but it has a long tail. It might take a century for reductions in greenhouse gas emissions to counteract that amount of extra heat, the study finds. Still, the study scenario is unlikely, even with a fossil fuel. Free world power generation would probably include a mix of wind, solar, and geothermal energy sources, and eliminating fossil fuels, eliminating fossil fuels would reduce carbon dioxide emissions, ultimately conferring the long-term benefits to the planet. So this was a whole oh, jeez. Okay, that's what you're laughing at. So this entire article is like, it has this effect, but it also has this effect, so it kind of cancels each other out. Okay? But that's this whole article.
Yeah.
Wait, crap, are you doubling down and watching two live streams at the same time? Just wondering.
Who knows?
I will bury your mouth. Shit. No, I'm not going to get into it on this show. This is not the show for that. All right.
Yeah, leave it alone, Jables.
Yep. I'll vent off her. Yeah. This whole article is just
making me keep him in order. God damn y'all.
No, you can't. You can't contain me.
All right. Should we do Kavanaugh, or the pregnancy of steel?
The pregnancy of steel. Let's just do the pregnancy of steel. I kind of was on the edge about the Kavanaugh thing because I didn't really want to talk about it in the first place. Because I just want to avoid that whole shit show.
All right, let's go to the pregnancy of steel.
Yeah. I like this one. No, it's a knife fight pregnancy.
Oral sex, a knife fight, and then sperm still impregnated a girl. A strange tale of oral sex, a knife fight, and the most unlikely of pregnancies recently brought to light by the blogosphere has doctors touting the triumphant persistence of sperm, or touting the triumphant persistence of sperm.
Yeah.
In 19...
by the way, guys, this is an old article, but somebody just talked about it, and I was like, no way, that's fucking real.
This is February 3rd, 2010, so who the fuck knows? In 1988, a 15-year-old girl living in the small southern African nation of Lesotho came to local doctors with all the symptoms of a woman in labor. But the doctors were quickly puzzled because, upon examination, she didn't have a vagina. What the shit? Inspection of the vulva showed no vagina, only a shallow skin dimple. So doctors delivered a healthy baby boy via cesarean. The authors wrote in a case report published in the British Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. What the shit?
Yeah, that's why I picked it. This is beautiful. Plus, we get to learn a lot about anatomy.
Her birth defect, called Mullerian agenesis, or Mayer Rokit. The other one's easier.
Yeah.
didn't necessarily surprise doctors, but her pregnancy did. Even the 15-year-old girl could not believe she was pregnant. Yet by looking at her records, the hospital staff realized the young woman was in hospital 278 days earlier with a knife wound to her stomach. The average pregnancy lasts about 280 days. After interviews, they gathered that just before she was stabbed in the abdomen, she had practiced fellatio with her new boyfriend and was caught in the act by her former lover. The fight with knives ensued.
Yeah. You want to have a good time? Go to Lesotho. Lesotho. Whatever. Go there. If you want to have a good time, knife fights and blowjobs. I shouldn't be laughing because she was stabbed, but... I mean...
Obviously she lived.
Yeah.
This was in 1988, so...
Yeah.
Don't care at this point. Like, if it was today, oh shit! But that long ago? Fuck it. The girl arrived at the hospital with an empty stomach, and therefore with little stomach acid around, and doctors found 2 holes from a stab wound that opened her stomach up to her abdominal cavity. The case report said doctors washed her stomach out with a salt solution and stitched her up. A plausible explanation for this pregnancy is that spermatozoa gained access to the reproductive organs via the injured gastrointestinal tract, the authors wrote. Infertility experts note the story, which resurfaced on a Discovery magazine blog, is not only a testament to Murphy's Law, but one to arguably nature's most impressive swimmers.
Wait, so Michael Phelps is a sperm?
No, Michael Phelps is outpaced by a sperm. God damn.
What about the sperm that made Michael Phelps?
It still would have outpaced him.
Fast.
How could sperm survive those conditions? Here's an unbelievable set of coincidences, said Dr. Richard Polson, head of the University of Southern California Fertility Program in LA, but it's totally plausible. Although doctors know that sperm need a low-acid, high-pH environment to survive, and would likely die eventually in the low pH of the stomach acid, doctors also said that sperm come in protective fluid, ejaculate, a nourishing medium meant to protect the sperm. That's where, yeah.
How did the sperm get on the knife? That's my question.
Well, I think.
Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, because it was in her stomach. I get it. Yeah.
Besides, out of hundreds of millions of sperm, if you knock out 90% of them, you're still going to have tens of millions of sperm, said Dr. Peter Schlegel, chairman of urology at New York Presbyterian Hospital, Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York. Polson agreed. Sperm are pretty hardy, said Paulson, who pointed out that sperm must make it out of the acidic environment of the vagina before reaching more friendly territory at the cervix and in the uterus. Once in the abdominal wall, Paulson estimated that the sperm could survive for days.
Shit.
God, it's a long way from the stomach into the lower abdomen. It's a heck of a trip, but they made it, said Paulson. You just need sperm somewhere in the area of an egg. Paulson said in 3 early days of fertility treatments in the 1980s, doctors injected sperm into the lower abdomen, hoping for the coincidental encounter with an egg. The procedure, called DIPI, or direct intraperitoneal insemination, has largely been replaced by more effective methods. The lengths sperm can travel. Schlegel pointed out that although fertilization typically takes place in the fallopian tubes, doctors know that sperm can normally swim up and out of the reproductive organs into the abdominal cavity. The sperm are naturally there at times, and eggs are naturally there, said Schlegel. Eggs are released from the ovaries, and they sort of dance around before they get taken up by the fallopian tube. Sperm can swim far into the female body. So it seems, Schlegel concluded, that the sperm could also be taken up by the fallopian tubes, as could a fertilized egg. So it wasn't that it was on the knife; it's that the spunk got into her abdomen somewhere in the
I wonder how that
vicinity.
happens. I'm kidding. I know exactly how that happens. She swallows.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
you know something new.
Yeah.
But some doctors are still suspicious of, or at least bewildered by, the tale. The girl's birth defect is well known, and by age 15, doctors say most girls would have been doubling over in pain with an abdomen filled with menstrual fluid that cannot escape. The menstrual fluid of several periods would make it even more unlikely for a pregnancy to occur. She'd have pain all the time and would have a stomach full of blood all the time and would have to be operated on or she would eventually die, said Dr. Sherman J. Silber, director of the Infertility Center of St. Louis at St. Luke's Hospital in Missouri. Dr. Howard A. Zacher, a reproductive endocrinologist at Johns Hopkins, also had doubts. The case report here suffers from the fact that an individual with a completely obstructed vaginal outlet would have been expected to have blood accumulation in the vagina and or uterus, he wrote in an email. The authors of the report guessed a pregnancy could only be possible if the girl had ovulated since or at most twice before her pregnancy. Or ovulated once or twice before her pregnancy. Whatever the true story of the woman and her now grown son, Silber said it could send a message to ordinary couples planning pregnancy. Yeah, plan, because sperm don't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Sorry, saying so much shit, wondering what none of my jokes are landing.
Did you mute yourself?
No, I was kidding. I was muted for a second, but that's because I was checking in on something. Oh, wait,
Out of the fallopian tubes, Y2K, that's what they were saying. That the fallopian tubes are kind of an open gap into the body. And sperm will sometimes just flow right up out of the fallopian tubes and be like, "Hi, we're here.
that's weird.
Hi, intestine. Where are the
What was it?
eggs?"
The man, I'm gonna ask him this. Never, never gonna make. No, can't. Never mind.
This is such a bizarre story.
But so did she have a uterus though?
Yeah,
Like,
well, of course she had a uterus.
I'm
She got
just checking.
pregnant.
That would have been really freaking weird. Well, like she could just have ovaries and fallopian tubes and not have a uterus. She doesn't have a vagina. Like she could be missing other things.
Not if she's pregnant.
I was just double checking. Jeez.
You know, I actually have I remember reading an article where they usually what happens with women who have this birth defect, they'll get intestine installed in there, but it's not right because it's very mucousy, or they'll get like skin grafts to create the vagina, and it has to be lubricated, so they are very almost no different from a trans woman. that gets bottom surgery in that sense. But
Yeah.
scientists were trying to grow a vagina using stem cells, and they had done so with 3 specific women using their own stem cells and had surgically implanted it into the body, and it took very well.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's
that is
promising.
cool. It's a lot better than having a mucousy intestine for a veg.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
No, I
watching an
swear I'm
episode
not
of
post off. I'm a real woman. Then why does this look like skin? Because I was born without a vagina. That doesn't help your cause.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I was watching an episode of Kill Tony, one of my favorite podcasts. Be sure to check it out, guys. It's Kill Tony. And one of the aspiring comedians that came on was trans, had the full bottom surgery and everything. And they asked her, so they were asking her questions, and she was totally open about it. She's like, yeah, the more people know, the better it is for all trans people. So on and so forth. And they were like, so when you're having sex, do you self-lubricate? And she's like, yeah, I self-lubricate. You want me to show you how? I'm like, no. I was like, no, real quick, hold out your hand. And one of the guys held out his hand, and she just spat in his hand. And it's like, that's how I self-lubricate.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
So I'm gonna keep going with this story.
Okay.
Why doubt?
With which story?
Why doubt the longevity of sperm?
Okay, yeah.
This story is a crazy story, and there's no way to make sense of it, said Silber. But the data on sperm is that normally it's quite good in an alkaline environment for 2 or 3 days. That's why the average couple wastes a lot of energy when they're trying to get pregnant. Silber said he sees many couples who buy into the idea that they should time sex to coincide with the woman's ovulation. But Silber said the remarkable survivability of sperm means most couples don't have to change their normal sex lives at all. The average American married couple tends to have sex 2 or 3 days a week, said Silber, author of How to Get Pregnant. And I think Nick would highly disagree with that. And yes, Y2K, no one wastes energy making babies.
Yeah. What was it? I was listening to another podcast.
Let me finish this out.
Okay. Because I have something to say about the making babies thing.
The average American... I read that. If sperm can survive for 2 or 3 days, that means that the average sex life of an American married couple results in living sperm swimming around the woman's body every single day of the week. The practice to check when you ovulate and not have sex until you're ovulating is stupid, Silber said. Silber said because ovulation calendars and methods to detect ovulation are somewhat inaccurate. Couples could miss ovulation and have sex too late. 12 hours after ovulation, the eggs aren't good anymore. You want to have the sperm there ready and waiting for when you ovulate, said Silber. It's absolutely true that sperm can last a long time.
Throw away your condoms, people. Moral of that story. Throw away your condoms. Flush them down the toilet. Don't leave them at the place.
No. The moral of the story is if she swallows, there's still a chance she could get pregnant.
Technically, if you want to get real fucking gross about it,
vaginas don't matter.
If she swallows, she could just puke it back up and too far.
But yeah, no one saying it's a waste of energy makes one sound like a robot. Just keep the old lady
Okay.
full of jizz and you should be okay. Y2K, you special individual.
So, I was listening to a podcast today. I was learning about the Donner Party, and like they were talking about like how many kids like each family had that was a part of the Donner Party, and pretty much what they said was, well, this was right after they made it illegal to work kids under 8 years old for over 10 hours a day, and you used to have kids just because you'd lose them all the time. Plus, what's the damage in losing a kid? You get to do your favorite thing to make more. So, timing was lost on that one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that I pulled up Not Safe for Work and saw this bizarre body pillow. The swinging dicks up above don't bother me, but that bizarre body pillow. We can't share it on the screen. It's in Not Safe for Work. We can't share it on the screen.
I don't recommend anybody goes to the Not Safe for Work section.
Yeah, I don't even...
regardless, I don't know why you're going there during the show.
I'm checking through channels.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sure. You know what? From Hatsworth?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've seen. And then you've got Hannah doing her thing.
Yeah, of course. I expect nothing less from Hannah. Yeah, it has... okay. Yes.
So, vaginas!
That's a classic joke, Y2K and W. Classic joke. Actually, more people survived than I thought. Like I was telling you earlier, Rimshee, like, about half the people survived. Maybe a little less than half. They only ate like 7 people.
Yeah, but there's still 8 people.
Sometimes gotta do what you gotta do.
So I guess we're finishing up with cannibalism?
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just really interesting. I also listened to a whole series on Charlie Manson. Speaking of which, guys, okay. So, with the current state of the world, politically charged and everything, I have this theory that there might be a race war. So, what we should do is we should all get together, get some Volkswagen Bugs, modify them into dune buggies, and go out into the desert. We build up a nice little compound. I don't know, just hang out there for a while. Really, Rimshee? Nothing?
I'm trying to think of compounds.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to think of how I would design one now. Like I have
I
have a partially designed one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for when I was planning on starting a cult.
I'm currently planning on starting a cult. Let's work together.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should ever make a cult.
Why not? Jim Jones did it.
Yeah,
He did it with the guise of Christianity.
Jim Jones is not an individual. that I would trust on that subject.
Ah, but he was trusted. Do you know how he was
Yeah.
trusted?
How?
Did a lot of charity work. Lots and lots of charity work.
Yeah, but we have hindsight, which is 2020, so let's not.
Do you know why Charles Manson was trusted?
I don't pay as much attention
No.
to serial killers as you do.
I have no fucking idea what he... No, he actually didn't kill anybody. But I have no idea why anybody trusted Charlie Manson.
Yeah, he didn't kill anyone, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually really weird. When he had the... he went...
Crab just got a great response to this. I mean, we follow people who call themselves saints.
Yeah. Pinkies up, bro.
Pinkies up.
No, I think Charlie Manson got people to follow him because he gave him acid, played music, and had a good singing voice. I think that's about it. And he was charming. But he didn't actually kill anybody.
Personally.
Yeah. And when he was in a position to actually kill somebody, because, like, they had already killed a bunch of people in a house. His followers did. And then he went to this other place because he wanted to be a part of it this time, because he didn't want to be left out of the group, so to say. He couldn't do it. He tried. He couldn't do it. He had to have that instinct, and he set things up so that this dude would possibly attack him so that he could kill him, but he just couldn't. The dude wasn't attacking him, so he just couldn't do it.
He was a pacifist leader of murderers.
Well, no, their first killings weren't even direct orders from him or anything.
I didn't say that he directed them to, I just said he led them.
They were on acid all the time. There's no telling what was going on in their brains, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. They were just out on a ranch stealing Volkswagen Bugs, making dune buggies high on acid all the time. Like, it's not even a joke. That's literally what it was. They were making dune buggies and high as fuck on acid. One guy got perma-fried from some ergot. I think it was ergot. No, it was belladonna. Weird shit.
Belladonna.
Weird shit. Yeah. Right. Yeah, like with belladonna, you're only supposed to make tea out of the roots and then just sip on the tea. But while the tea was being made, he just walked over, pulled one of the roots out, and ate it like a baked potato. Just started munching on it. Yeah. And one of the guys on the podcast that was talking about this, he talked to the person that was actually making the tea on Charlie Manson's little ranch. And she was like, yeah, I just sipped the tea, and I was still feeling it for like 2 weeks. He just started eating the root.
Uh-huh.
He was fucked up. It's about that time.
Yeah, it's getting there. I think we can end with a few minutes, and we'll just coast to 6. Remember to watch the Saints here in roughly half an hour. Who knows?
Be sure to subscribe.
I don't see Jeff
Smash
in
that
the thumbnail,
like button.
so who the hell knows?
Yeah, Jeff may or may not be on the show tonight. No idea. I know we did a Patreon stream today, but I was at work, so I didn't get to get any inside information on that.
Praise the saints of the web.
Yeah. Thank you, Crab. Many blessings upon you.
Praise Zebro.
Praise Zebro. And praise Hercules, son of Zebro. I'm not sure if you saw that episode.
Hebrew
Rimshee.
Billies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see them all, but there are so many of them. It's hard to keep track.
It was just on midweek.
Yeah.
It just happened. Yeah.
Oh, I saw part of it. I'm not sure. I missed part of the first.
Okay.
But anyway.
Anyways, yeah, everybody be sure to come back every Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints and the Lesser Saints of Discord. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. I'm doing the YouTuber thing now. Yeah, go check out the Saints and join the Discord. Hang out with us there.
Yeah, please hang out with us.
I'm lonely. That's why I'm in the Discord so often. So yeah, please hang out with me.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night.